Yeah.
Hey guys, Happy Conscious Gal back again for part 2 of this vlog. P4 has been really interesting. I have managed to stay pretty much stable between 60 kilos and 61 kilos, so within that kind of window. There's been a couple of times where I've gone over 61, but I've always managed to come back down the next day. And I'm still weighing myself and tracking that. I wanted to be at the point where I didn't have to do that, but I'm still experimenting with food and trying new things, and I'm slowly learning. It may take me a few months to really learn what makes me gain weight and what doesn't. So I want to monitor it while I'm in this experiment phase, because otherwise I could spend a week eating stuff and not tracking what I'm eating, not weighing myself, and suddenly find I'm 2 or 3 pounds up, but I don't really know what caused it. The choice at the moment is to notice what I'm eating and weigh myself, so I can see which things cause my weight to gain and which don't. And it's not always food. You know, you guys know sometimes I can stay up too late when I do that. You know, sometimes I gain weight when I've had a really stressful day. If there's been fighting or arguing in the house, I tend to gain weight. Things like that. And then with food, I've noticed with me, any carbs pretty much, I gain weight. I've just, at the moment, I've had to accept that. I'm pretty much eating low carb. What I have introduced is proteins and fats that have a little bit of starch in them, like quinoa I'm having occasionally. I'm having occasionally tempeh, tofu, things like that I wasn't having in P3, I've allowed back in, even though they have a bit of starch because they are high protein. I'm having a lot more hemp seeds and things like that. Occasionally I'm having chia seeds because they're quite high fat, but they have a little bit of starch. Things like that are fine for me. Occasionally I have a little bit of goat's cheese. That's fine. If I have it too often, it doesn't work. So, you know, things like that. Nuts, I don't seem to be able to tolerate nuts. Mac nuts are a disaster. For some bizarre reason, pistachio nuts I've been fine on. I found myself craving them about a week ago when I ate them and I had no problem, and I ate them again, I had no problem, I ate them again, I had no problem. I was like, wow, that doesn't mean I can do that for the rest of my life. That might just be this week. So I'm just really staying in the present moment and seeing what's working for me in the present moment. And the biggest thing that I notice that caused me to gain weight, this is going to sound weird, is if I eat any kind of cocoa. So if I have chocolate delight, or 85% Lindt chocolate, really they're both completely low carb. They shouldn't cause me to gain. Raw cacao powder mixed in with chia seeds or something, like anything like that that has any kind of caffeine or stimulant in it, my system doesn't tolerate. And I think the reason isn't because the chocolate delight causes me to gain weight or anything. I think what happens is I don't sleep properly when I eat stimulants. If I have any kind of caffeine, I don't drink tea or coffee, I never have, but my system's sensitive, so if I have a stimulant in the form of cocoa or cacao powder, then I don't sleep properly, my mind doesn't stop, and I don't get really deep sleep, and that causes me to gain weight, retain water, and not burn fat properly. So it's not that I'm gaining weight from the chocolate delight or the 85% Lindt, it's just that it's stimulating me too much, I'm not sleeping properly. And lack of sleep is what causes me to gain weight. So I have to go, ooh, especially at night, because I used to sort of have a little bit of something with chocolatey at night as a dessert, put it in my yogurt ice cream or chocolate delight or some sort of thing. And I've cut that out and I'm sleeping much better. So that was an interesting one for gaining weight. What else? After I had been experimenting with all this and noticing that I didn't seem to be able to tolerate carbs very much, and even a lot of fat I didn't seem to be able to tolerate, we did muscle test it all and douse it all, and we confirmed that that's true for me. At the moment, I need to eat really 50% protein. I need to eat a lot of protein and maybe 30% fat, 35% fat. You know, about 15% carbs was what we got when we dowsed it and muscle tested it, and that corresponds with what I've seen in practice. So I'm not eating fruit. I'm eating green vegetables and, you know, low-carb vegetables, lots of vegetable salad, no problem. Cultured vegetables, sauerkraut, lots of that, because that stuff's all really healthy for me. I need to eat it unprocessed raw vegetables, cooked properly to get maximum nutrition out of them, cultured and fermented to get maximum nutrition out of them, make them maximally digestible. Fruits doesn't work. Occasionally have a few berries, but that's about it. Not having, obviously, bread or pasta or any processed carbs. Yeah, just basically sticking to low carb with a few extra things than I did in P3. And I did discover a dessert I really like. I made lemon truffles, which I had previously in HCG, which some of you have heard of. It was invented by a HCG called Heavy Dobby. I'll see if I can put the link down in my description for where you can find the recipe. It's really yummy. It's basically just made with coconut butter, coconut oil, and lemons. So instead of using cocoa powder or raw cacao powder like in Chocolate Delight, you use lemon. And I don't have a problem with lemon. I do really well with lemon. So anything with lemon in, good. The other dessert, I like desserts. So I had to find a way to have desserts. The other dessert I have is I get a little bit of my yummy Greek yogurt, Chobani yogurt, maybe put some raw cream in it or not. And I've got a stevia that's banana flavored stevia. Oh my God, it's so yummy. I love it. I put a few drops of that in. Just like a banana ice cream or something. And sometimes I stick it in the ice cream machine and make ice cream out of it. Yogurt ice cream out of it. Banana yogurt ice cream. So that's nice. So things like that I'm having. But I am being still fairly strict, and I've just reconciled that given I can't really exercise, it's actually quite hard for my body to burn off carbohydrates. So that's where I'm at. That may change a month from now, 2 months from now, when I've been walking on the beach for months and maybe doing more Feldenkrais, my body will be getting better, I'll be less pain. I'm doing a lot of things to improve my health at the moment that are unrelated to food and diet and body shape. A lot of other things to improving my quality of sleep, working on myself at an energetic level, getting my energy, allowing myself to feel my power. A lot of stuff which is healing the underlying things that have caused my fibromyalgia and chronic pain. So I'm working on that at a really deep systemic level. And I believe that within 3 or 4, maybe 6 months, I'll be completely well and I'll be able to exercise. And at that point, I'm sure I'll be able to eat carbs. But you've really got to be honest with where your body's at and really listen to it. So I haven't done any correction days in P4. As I said, there's a few times my weight went up. When I got my period this month, my weight went really up, which it always does, but it took quite a while for it to come back down because not only was I exhausted, not sleeping, in terrible pain, taking huge amounts of painkillers, which I just gave in. I haven't done that for quite a while, but this month I had to because I was at an event all weekend, so I had to be able to function, so I had to take painkillers. So there's a lot of toxic crap in my body from the painkillers. And I ate a lot of chocolate, 85% chocolate and Chocolate Delight. And it was after that I found it very hard to get my weight back down. It did come down. It took about 4 or 5 days of eating fairly strict, very clean, very low carb. But it came back down. And that's when I realized chocolate, no, does not work. But it's been surprising what I have been able to eat. I've gone out quite a few times. One day I just felt like eating this chocolate cake. It was like a really, really low sugar, sort of, not a moist cake, like a really dense cake, and I could tell it wasn't sweet, and I was fine, didn't gain any weight. A couple of times, things like that. The other night I went out at a friend's house. It was 2 or 3 in the morning, we'd been staying up, there was nothing else to eat except some figs. Well, that's fruit, that's carbs. I ate them, and I was okay. So I think that if I mainly eat no carb, every now and then there's an exception where I can have some, and it's fine. Every now and then I have a bite of my boyfriend's food he's eating, just so I don't feel deprived, or something, maybe a bite of licorice, or a bite of his yummy spelt crackers with avocado on them, but I mean a small bite, but when I feel satisfied. Or if I'm at the nut shop buying my pistachios, I might get a tiny one dried apricot or something, just to satisfy that urge for sweetness in me, but it doesn't do anything. I don't have any reaction to it in my body. So that's working for me. I don't feel deprived, I'm eating really, really nutritious, nourishing food, I'm going for walks on the beach, my weight's fairly stable, I know what happens, what will make it go up, I know how to bring it back down, so I feel very comfortable with it all at the moment. And that will change. When I give my next vlog in a month, there'll be things I'm eating now that I can't eat, things I'm not eating now that I'll be able to eat. And my exercise levels will be different, and it'll all be different. So I really think at this point, when you're in P4, transitioning into the rest of your life, you just have to pay attention, not just to the scales. Pay attention to your body. What is it telling you? I started to get the urge to eat pistachios, and I did. And I was fine. I felt the urge to eat that piece of cake. I knew it wasn't sweet, and I was fine. But when I've not listened to my body, or I've been coming from some other driver, like I'm exhausted, and I want to chew myself up so I'll eat some chocolate, it doesn't work, But if I want to eat cheese, just because I'm feeling indulgent, but my body's not wanting it, it doesn't work. And the biggest thing I'm learning is listen to my body. My body knows what it wants. Sometimes it can handle carbs. You've got to listen to it. Monitor it, measure, observe, take notes, figure it out. And don't beat yourself up if you get it wrong, because it's just an experiment. And the thing I've learned is if I get it wrong, I can easily bring it back down again and just eat clean for a day or two, which I like doing. And there's lots of yummy things I can have when I eat clean that I've learnt to make, that I enjoy eating, so I don't feel deprived. I just have a couple of days eating clean, and then I'm back down again. So I feel it's not so much that I'm in control, although I probably am in control, but it's more that I just feel very trusting of the process. And it's a nice place to be, because previously around food I felt very unsafe and I didn't know why I was gaining weight. It was all out of my control. Whereas now I feel trusting of my body, trusting of my mind's understanding, trusting my ability to notice what's going on, trusting my ability to make changes and adjust course as I go. And it's working. And today I woke up a little bit heavier because yesterday I ate too many carbs. So today I'm just eating clean. And I know I wake up tomorrow, it'll be back down again. That's what happens every time. So that gives you a lot of sense of power and safety and trust. So I wish that for all of you. Just know that you can get to this point where you're at your goal weight and you can maintain. I'm going to keep vlogging, once a month, maybe once every 2 weeks, depends on what's going on in my life, just to let you know what starts to happen, what starts to shift, and how you're feeling about food, your relationship to food. I'm starting more and more to feel like I'm just an ordinary person with no eating problems, no body problems, and that's going to keep deepening and keep deepening and keep deepening as the months go past. So it's very exciting. So I know I haven't been as involved in the HCG community. I'm still working on finishing these books. It's been a crazy couple of months. We've had storms, power failures, relationship issues, like every possible thing you can imagine. I haven't been doing any of my projects, not just the HCG ones. I've been very, very behind in everything. But just know I am still working on these ebooks. They're getting done slowly. They get done in their own time. I don't really earn any money from them, so it's hard to put them at the top of the list. But they are getting done. Don't even worry about that. And so I just want to send you all big hugs, big kisses, big love, big support for all of your journey. And know I am still following everyone. I am tuning in when I can. I'm still here. If you have questions or you want to reach out to me on Facebook or YouTube, please do. And I'll check in again in a couple of weeks, and I'm going to go away and work on that second ebook. All right, guys. Bye.